past 27 incarnations or past 27 lives. Then the birth of the Mahavira. Householder life, Bhagwan Mahavir lived householder life for 30 years and then took the Diksha. Life as an ascetics, we call it sadhana ka. In that 12.5 years, Bhagwan Mahavir did nothing but meditation. Okay? Bhagwan Mahavir ate very little food, but engrossed in meditation for 12.5 years. It took him 12.5 years to conquer or to realize his own soul. He realized these all qualities, and that realization means not temporary. It is permanent. Now, Bhagwan Mahavir, you cannot change, whether he is sleeping or he is delivering sermons or anything, he remains that he is a pure soul. And he is in that state, remaining and discussing with everybody, discussing with the disciples or whatever he is doing it. But he is constantly vigilant about his own soul. Okay, nothing. And then the omniscient life means after he lived about 29.5 years and he attained the nirvana at the age of 72. So you can just give you little bit summary, in about the Bhagwan Mahavir's lifespan. Okay. Important date. Conception, Asar Sud Chat, which is 600 BC. Birth, Chaitra Sud Teras. So after Asar Sud 6 to birth is like 9 months later, roughly. Okay. In the Kshatriya Kund. Diksha, which is Makshar or Makshar Vad Dasam or Posh Vad Dasam. Now, this is very confusing to unless you know the very detail from where the book is written. If the book is written in Rajasthan, okay, they have a different way of calculating the Jain calendar. If you read the book, Gujarat and Maharashtra, they have a different way of calendar. And I don't want to go into the detail, but simple law or simple logic I will just give you is if it is a Sud month, when first 15 days, which we call it like Sud, if Sud is there, both have the same time. But if it is a Vad period, okay, then Rajasthani calendar will be a month ahead of the Gujarati calendar. So, just simple example I give you. Bhagwan Mahavir attained nirvana on Diwali day. Okay, Bhagwan Mahavir attained nirvana on Diwali day. In Gujarati month, in Gujarati calendar, it is Asho Vad Amas. Asho Vad Amas or Punam, whatever you call it, but it's Asho Vad Amas, no moon day. Barama. Same day is called Kartak Vad Amas in Rajasthani calendar, Rajasthani Jain calendar. If the day is the same, it's not there is a difference day, but the naming convention is 30 days after. So when you look at it here, Vad period comes, then I wrote it down both Maksar and post, like say the third one. Diksha is Maksarvaddasam according to one calendar, or Pushvaddasam is according to Rajasthani calendar. Maksarvaddasam is according to Gujarati and Maharashtrian calendar. Okay. Uh, but it is the same day, you have to keep in mind. Some people say this, that day is this, and other people will say that day is different. Uh, this thing all happened this way because each state or each area were their own independent. Okay, that's why once they do it, they settle it that way. They don't want to change and make it one uniform thing. So I'm just trying to tell you that whenever you will see word, so when you read Kalpasutra, if it is printed in Gujarat or Maharashtra, you will find different days written for the same incidents. And if you read the Rajasthani printed Kalpasutra, then it is a different way. And for our time, the world is small. We can know, we need to know all these things. Otherwise, we will be kind of confused. All right, next one. 27 lives of Lord Mahavir. Okay, the if you notice it here, how many, why is only 27? The past lives could be infinite. But there is a tradition here. Okay, when Bhagwan Mahavir first time attained Samyaktva, it is in the life of Naisar, the king Naisar. Is not a king, but he is a head of the uh, things there. Okay, community. And in that Naisar Bhav, he attained the Samyaktva. And that is the consider once a person attains Samyaktva, that is his first life. Okay, after attaining Samyaktva, 27 lives after that he became Kevalgnani and liberated. So that's why this 27 past lives record is being stored here in the Kalpasutra in detail. Okay, and you can see the first one, when he attained the Samyaktva, he has to be like human being. In Digambar tradition, he attained the Samyaktva in the lion's life. So again, you have to see what you are reading. It don't get confused. Okay, that's how the scripture is, and that's how you got to believe into it. If I am a Digambar believer, then I believe this way. If I am Swetambar believer, I believe this. No, this way. That's it. And you can see how many times, like human life is the first one, Naisar life. Okay, it's not like his first life. As a Samyaktva he attained in Naisar life from Swetambar tradition point of view. Then the second life, he went to heaven, came back as a human, and the third life, his life is Marichi, which is nothing but the grandson of Rushabdev, the first Tirthankar. Okay, and I don't want to go into the Mahavir Swami's stories because it will take significant amount of time. Not even one day, it may take like a week to understand the whole Mahavir's life. Okay, and Marichi, some people will know the details of it. And if you don't know that, no, he took the Diksha, but then he left the Diksha and become a Hindu priest, which keeps all the clothes and garden and all that things, okay? And there is a long story about him. And Rushabdev, when Bharat Chakravarti, who is Rushabdev's son, and Marichi is the Bharat's son, he asked that, is there anybody, Bharat asked Rushabdev, anybody here who would be in future will become a Tirthankar? And he said, it is your son who is right now, this is not he left the Jain monkhood, but he is the one going to become the first first Vasudev, the Chakravarti, and ultimately 24th uh, Tirthankar, Marichi. And Bharat will go to Marichi, even though he was not a Jain monk, he was like a Hindu monk, and he bowed down to him and he says, okay, this is what Bhagwan Rishabdev told him, okay, you will be the last Tirthankar of this era, and I'm bowing down for your soul, because you will be the last Tirthankar of this era. And then the whole thing started. It. I don't want to go into the all the stories, what they have it, but that was a significant incidents that occurred in the human life in the Marichi. And then you can see uh, every time he said, no, he goes to heaven and then come back becoming human. And now you can see the human being, he is like what kind of the sect, he's born in, and that's the detailed things are giving you here. The important one comes next one is, I'll tell you, okay, it is like uh, the fifth, sixth, seventh. Just this is, look at it. Bhagwan Mahavir on 19th life went to seventh hell. Just can you imagine, like now with our own Tirthankar, suffered, did so much pap that person has to go to seventh hell. Okay, then he became lion, animal life, and then again he went to fourth hell. Okay, so what Jainism is saying, if you are doing wrong things, there is no forgiveness. You have to suffer it. Okay, you can, and this is it. This is the law of karma, and it has nothing to do about forgiveness anywhere. So this is one of the important things. Okay, look at it. Even if it is our own Tirthankar, okay, he has to suffer. That's it, because what he did. And that's what he did is in the Vishwabhuti life, which is the 16th life, and the 18th one, Tripusta Vasudev Bhav. These are all important bhavs. And you read the life stories of the Tirthankar in Kalpasutra, this one. Okay. So all that, no, I don't want to go too much into the details, but here is the one what you are seeing it. All right, and seventh life, and you can read about it. And if you have any questions, we can discuss it. Maybe if I don't have the time today, it will be like tomorrow. I will find some time. The topic is easier that time, which I can finish it earlier. Okay. Next one is the Swetambar tradition only. Uh, the birth of the Vardhan, Rushabdatta and Devananda, that's where the, he got conceived. And then she saw the dreams of all these Tirthankar before they born, when they conceive. She saw all the dreams, and then transfer the fetus occur. Okay, and then Siddhartha and Trishla, they saw it again, the same dreams, and the auspicious birth celebration occurred, and that is happened in the Trishla and Siddhartha place. Okay, and Vardhaman name given there. Okay, then the family fearless Vardhaman. No, there are lots of not several stories, not many, but fearless Vardhaman. Test by Indra came and did the testings also, and then the death of the parents when Bhagwan was 28 years old, because he took a vow while he was in the mother's womb. He took a vow that I will not take Diksha until my parents are no more, because I cannot give this kind of the uh, aggravation, dukh, whatever you call it. okay, because he lived his life in such a way that nobody get hurt in any manner or any fashion. Okay, even like when after the parents are dead, he wanted to take the diksha. He went to his older brother and says, "Give me the permission so that I leave and renunciate the work." And the brother says, "Well, our parents just died. I cannot give you permission right now, but maybe after 2 years." Okay. And then he waited 2 more years, okay, just by saying his brother. And that's how he did. And at the age of 30, he left the kingdom, everything, and he self-initiated himself, even though there were the monks of Parsnath, and Parsnath tradition is all over the place in India. But he decided, okay, to do the self-initiated and conquer himself uh, by going into meditation for 12 and a half years. Okay, and ultimately he conquered himself. It took him like 12 and a half years to conquer himself. And only way you conquer it, that you are fully aware you are soul, not the body. Even though you are recognized by your body. Mahavir is recognized by body. Okay, because so everyone has the same soul in that sense. Anyway, all right. So that's now the family wise. Who was the first mother and first father and the second mother? Like, I'll give you the name, place, and their gotra, because gotra was important. In our scripture, you will find out people give significant importance of the gotra. Even in Hindu tradition, okay, that no Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. These are all their gotras. Okay, if you really look into it, and all ancient literature tells you from which gotra he comes. Okay, okay, so that's the kind of the records of the family. The wife Yashoda. Again, there are a lot of difference of opinion between Swetambar and Digambar tradition. Digambar says Bhagwan Mahavir never married. Okay, while the Swetambar says not only he was married, but he has a daughter. Okay, and give you that the daughter is Priyadarshana. Okay, and that daughter had married, and another daughter, the granddaughter, was Sheshwati. So kind of a giving you all this description from the Swetambar tradition, because Digambar tradition said Bhagwan Mahavir was bachelor and he took the Diksha. Okay. So that is the kind of a differences exist. Okay. All right. And now life as an ascetic. The For 12 and a half years, Bhagwan Mahavir suffered a lot. Okay. And there are stories says affliction by Sulapani. This is the heavenly being who decided, because the Lord Indra said no, and he was praising Bhagwan Mahavir that no, how he is doing all the meditation and nobody can disturb him while he's meditating. Okay, and the this heavenly God Sulapini said, no, 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 I can do it, that one. And he comes and gives all kinds of trouble to Bhagwan Mahavir. And yet Bhagwan Mahavir remained uh, in his meditative state, and that did not disturb him. Then the story comes about Chandakosik serpent, and we all know that story. Then the deadly torture by Sangam, and last Chandan Bala. who give the parno, all the food for parna, and in certain conditions what Bhagwan Mahavir had before he will accept the food from anybody. And Chandan Bala fulfilled that. Okay. And the story of Chandan Bala is also significant. Chandan Bala was sold. Look at the time period we are. We're talking 2,500 years ago, where women had no right. Actually, women were considered property of the man. Okay. And this Chandan Bala was sold on the street, okay, by whoever were taking care of her. Okay. That is the kind of a person. And if you look at the Buddhism, Hinduism, at that time, no women had any power in the religion area. While what Bhagwan Mahavir did, he not only gave a diksha to Chandan Bala, but he made her the head of the Sangh. The Sadhvi Sangh head is the Chandan Bala. So no slave woman given that kind of the status and respect. That's what Bhagwan Mahavir. So if you look at the Bhagwan Mahavir was the biggest revolution, self-initiated himself, providing Chandan Bala is the head of the Sangh. Okay, and that woman was sold on the street few years before. Okay, and the last calamity, nail in the ears. Okay, these are the, during these 12.5 years, if you read, there is a significant upsarga and parishaha that occurred to Bhagwan Mahavira, and Bhagwan Mahavir remained, calm and quiet. That's what he, and in his meditative state, and that's how ultimately he realized the Keval Gnan. All right. Now,